coming back from you know uh, a 0-0 draw from Brentford, and what a
Yes.
disappointing game. We were expecting a win, of course. I mean, to put more pressure into the top four, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, we kind of slowed down a bit, and we couldn't, get 3 points out from GTEC Stadium, which I personally wasn't happy about, because I felt
Yeah.
like we deserve more. We we needed a 3 point, but well, I don't know. We gave it out, so we're back into the conference tomorrow against Legia, and you know that's gonna be another game to talk about. I mean, what's your thinking about this game tomorrow, quarterfinal?
It's it's definitely a must win. We need to go out there, prove, you know, that we're the favourites to win the tournament.
Yeah,
Um, we need to bounce back with a better performance than we did against Brentford. Uh, I still think even with our B squad, we should win this tie comfortably. So I don't want to dwell too much on the negatives, but I don't understand why there was so much rotation against Brentford
yeah,
because that should have been our priority. And again, tomorrow night I wouldn't go with a full strength 11 simply because I think some of our backup or our so-called B team should be able to get the job done, especially over two legs
yeah.
against Legia.
Hmm.
And if it is the case that we do need to rest some players, then rest them for the weekend where we have some important Premier League games,
Yeah,
and we need to maximize the points there as well. So I just hope that tomorrow night we can start popping in some goals because even the last Conference League matches, it was very like we scraped 1-0 wins to 2-1 things like that. I hope the team can score some goals to build up some like momentum, some confidence
yeah.
going
I
into
mean,
the Premier
yeah.
League.
I personally think since we've played the group stage, we've dropped down a little bit. I think we scored about, is it not 20 something goals in the group stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah, but immediately we got into the round of 16, we slowed down a bit, and I think we scored 3 goals or 4 goals overall for the round of 16 or something, which I was personally thinking looks like we're dropping down. I mean, the more we move, the more we drop down, which is to me not fair enough, because when you look at the Conference League, I think Chelsea personally could buy maybe 6 to 7, football team from the Conference League. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, so
agreed.
we should be standing out onto the final. I mean, we should be getting goals and winning away and home. I mean, with a massive margin, but semi final. I mean, round of 16, we couldn't do much. We didn't score much of goals, and that's a big question. Moving into the quarterfinal, I felt like we need to come back. I mean, we don't need to take anything for granted, to be honest. If we can
Yeah,
tomorrow score 5 6 goals, I think that's gonna put us in a very good shape.
agreed.
Mm,
I think what we shouldn't underestimate is Legia because for them it's going to be the next two matches are going to be their games of the season
yeah,
because um the Conference League for them at their level is like a prestigious tournament for them.
yeah,
They're trying to compete. Um, uh, I draw a parallel to a team fighting relegation. I'm not saying Legia's at that level where they're relegation fodder, but because it's their game of the season, just like a relegation team would have a point to prove,
yeah,
we can't underestimate the opposition, which I feel we have done in recent weeks. And we need to treat it as if, look, this is the quarterfinal of a tournament. We need to go in, get the job done,
yeah.
and we need to perform to strong levels that you would expect from a quarterfinal in any tournament, and hopefully perform to the levels where we can get some goals, so then we can, you know, build build on that and go forward.
But looking at, I mean, the game before international, there was a rumor. I mean, I believe it's a reality. I mean, the team B had to play the under 21, losing 3-0 to them, and I don't know what's gonna go on tomorrow. Is there any confidence that, I mean, we're gonna try and rotate the squad? Is there anything we can bring out from that? Do you think?
You know what? Even the B team that lost to the under 21s, and we've got to put that into perspective because it was the players that didn't go on international duty. And
Yeah.
we saw the same players play the first half against Brentford. And it was players like Nkunku, Gusto, who's been a bit shaky in recent
Hmm.
weeks, players like that who didn't necessarily go on international duty, that they were the ones that got beat up by the under 21s and they got, um, beaten training 3-0. So if you look at the way those players performed in the first half against Brentford, you can sort of understand
Yeah.
there's a bit of a attitude issue going around the squad. There's a bit of like some players are being quite lazy, lethargic, not really playing for the badge.
Yeah.
And we can't have that tomorrow, but at the same time, I look at players like an Nkunku or a Gusto, and I think you should still have the quality to perform to the levels um, where we can beat Legia Warsaw. Because at the end of the day, even though Nkunku hasn't looked sharp all season, to be fair, he did get quite a number of goals in the group stage of the
Yeah.
Conference League.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
if he was performing to the levels, he could have had so much more.
Yeah. I think there's quite a few players that we've really missed in the Conference League. I mean, the likes of McGill. I think
Yeah,
it's one of the players that we've really, really missed from this competition. And I think if he was fit, he would have been another I mean player to watch out for in this kind of a
yeah,
game. And I mean the likes of Casade as well. I think
yeah,
if he was still in Chelsea, he would have, I mean, give an opportunity tomorrow to the likes of Casado. Because when you look at Legia on the table, on the Poland table, they were fifth on the table. I mean, with 10 point margin from the first place. So I don't really see them as a kind of a kind of a team that could really give us much problem. I
yeah,
mean, looking at their recent form, I mean, I don't really see anything looking threatening from them. So tomorrow will have been another good game. Try to, you know, I mean,
Ye-
implement those players that have been really, really doing well from the group
yeah.
stage. But like I said, I
You
think,
know,
yeah,
you know what? On paper, you're right. Legia don't pose any kind of threat to us.
yeah,
Um, on paper, fifth in the Polish league, you know, n not too many like standout players. Their form's not, you know, been like top European level or anything. However, we've got to respect the opposition, but at the same time, the players just need to show in a bit of effort. As long as they show in some form of effort, they can get a result. What Legia can expose is if we have players in the squad that are like walking around the pitch, not really doing much, not showing much effort,
yeah,
and they can exploit that because again they'll have the home atmosphere behind them. It's going to be a European night, and we just need some of our players to step up a bit, just show like the golfing class that we are, Chelsea Football Club. This is the levels we perform to, and this is why we are the favourites to win this tournament.